for me and actors out there, the best actor for the role should always get the role. But we have to do the work in order to get to that point, is what I say, you know?
Well, and that goes to what we were speaking about before, about what Angelique was talking about, which is means that when you do get a chance at an audition, whether it's a native part or a regular, you know, like all the parts, is to be ready to do the audition. And that does mean having people over the house and reading a screenplay together. It does mean, you know, going to class. It does mean, you know, being in your community, not just your Indigenous community, but your actor community, because they're your best resources. And to be prepared means that you are ready to go, that you aren't rusty, that the words will come out of your mouth, that you can breathe when you come in, and remember all the little things you need to do when you come into a room that can work, you know.
Or if you're away, that you're prepared if you need to turn around an audition tape in 25 hours. You know, that's going to happen. That happens a lot these days.
25 hours? What?
I need it now.
9 p.m.
We always tend to give people too much time, unfortunately, and then they break the internet sending us 300 tapes an hour before they're due. So do it when you get the audition, send it. And, you know, a lot of casting directors will be your friend and say, hey, you know what, that was good, but I think you could be even better. We still have a couple of days, send it back to me. Because we want you to get the job.
Our biggest challenge, our committee's biggest challenge, I would say, is when we are championing and we're fighting so hard, and then someone turns around and says, show us. And we go, here you go, guys, it's over to you. And that's when the goods have to show up, you know, because of,
What's going to be so great about this, the open call. So that means when you come in for that open call, you have to really be prepared, because this is going to be your shot to get into the room. And it's also going to be such a benefit for us, because now we're going to have a catalog of actors. Mm-hmm. You know, so if the opportunity is there, grab it. You know, we're being prepared to take as many actors as can that we can fit in, that can sign up, which is exciting. You know, it's incredibly exciting. I just want to say, this is such a useful panel for me, and I'm just to hear everybody's side of it is like very moving to me, because, you know, we don't always get a chance to hear how people are really feeling about what's going on. So I just really want to thank you guys for participating in this thing.
And I just wanted to add in too, I think a lot of us are still being helpful, Koryanka. I actually dropped your name to Taylor Sheridan 3 separate occasions before you got on Yellowstone. So we still do that for each other.
He's expecting those flowers.
You know,
I want to say too, before, just because I feel like it's really important that casting directors, this is particularly for casting directors, that you understand. I just heard it. A colleague of mine, her nativeness was called into question, and there is, you know, we get the questions. Well, are you a real Indian? How much Indian are you? You know, that kind of thing, and it's just. That for casting folks to understand, it goes back to the lived experience. That blood quantum thing, that is not who we are. That is not who is the member of our tribe. It's the lived experience. So it's not whether you're tribally enrolled or you're not. I do think if you are tribally enrolled, it doesn't hurt to put it on your resume. You know, and you can say that when you're in the room. But just understand, it's really for casting folks and for folks out there that feel like, well, what about me? Like, I don't have a card, and what if I'm going up against, you know, somebody that does have, you know, are they gonna? I would love to go past that and go to that lived experience. And you've got the vetting process to kind of just understand, Rene.
It's very tricky because we technically are not allowed to ask a person if they are Native American. I cannot ask any of the actors that come to see me. I actually got called on a Saturday by a producer who needed an actor to fly on Monday to work on Tuesday, and had to work over the weekend, and went through my files and found this wonderful elderly woman in my file and called her up on a Saturday and said, hey, we haven't met, but you're in my files, and so you must be a Native actor, and I'd love for you to audition for this role because this is a real great opportunity for you. She called affirmative action at SAG on me, and it became a big deal. And that's when, and this is, 20 years ago. And that's when I learned, I am never allowed to say that. I am not allowed to ask that question, even though I was trying to do the right thing. All of our intentions are always good, but we have to be very, very careful about how we vet this. This is why I think this, this opportunity to create a database of Native talent is amazing. It's going to benefit every single person in our industry.
A long time ago, when pit bulls were kind of a new thing and in the city, and they were like attacking people, and so some cities started like outlawing pit bulls. And so, because my mom came in and she was just like shaking her head, and I was like, "What?" She's like, "Well, look," and she showed me like the story, and she's like, "So they decided no more pit bulls." But then they said, "Okay, what if it's a hybrid pit bull? I mean, what is half pit bull and half Chihuahua? Is that still a pit bull? Or if it's a quarter pit bull, or if it's like this, and it does that make what is a pit bull and how much is that?" And she was like, "It's pit bulls and us. We are the only things on the planet that have to come up with this weird math to define ourselves," and that's such a weird quirk. And yeah, but that's always been just another unique thing about our experience.
All right.